All right, let's talk about a real culinary showstopper, the mushroom Wellington. It looks so impressive, it tastes absolutely incredible, and let's be honest, it can feel a little intimidating to make. Well, not anymore. We're going to dive into the step-by-step blueprint for mastering this dish.
You've probably been there, right? You see that picture of the perfect, golden, flaky pastry, and you think, there's no way I could pull that off. And what's the number one fear? It's always that dreaded, soggy bottom. Well, that's exactly the problem we are here to solve today. So in this explainer, we're basically handing you the keys to the kingdom. No more guesswork, no more crossing your fingers and hoping for the best. This is a clear, reliable method to make sure your Wellington is absolutely flawless every single time.
So let's think of this not as one big, difficult recipe, but as a challenge that we're going to break down into 4 simple missions. But before we kick off mission 1, let's meet our key players.
Okay, so these are the core components that really make a Wellington sing. You've got the mushrooms and chestnuts, which create this incredibly earthy, almost meaty base. Then the leek and garlic bring that aromatic backbone. The soy sauce and Dijon mustard, those are your secret weapons, your flavor boosters that add a deep umami and a little tangy kick. And of course, it's all wrapped up in a rich, all-butter puff pastry. It's a true symphony of flavors.
All right, mission 1. This is all about flavor. We need to build a filling that's deeply savory, really complex, and has that incredible umami quality that just makes this dish so satisfying.
On the surface, the process is pretty straightforward. You brown the mushrooms, you soften your leeks and garlic, stir in the chestnuts and seasonings, and finish it off with some spinach. But, and this is a big but, there is one step in here that is absolutely non-negotiable for success.
And this right here is the absolute key to mission 1. You have to cook all of that moisture out of those mushrooms. When you start to hear them squeak in the pan, that's literally the sound of success. It means you've concentrated their flavor like crazy, and you've just deployed your first line of defense against our arch nemesis.
Mission 2. This is it. This is the big one, the one everyone worries about. How do we guarantee a crisp, flaky pastry base every single time? We are officially declaring war on the soggy bottom. Let's be really clear about what we're fighting here. A soggy bottom is what happens when moisture from that delicious filling seeps down into the pastry, turning it into a sad, pale, doughy mess instead of the golden, crispy foundation it's supposed to be. But don't worry, we have a plan.
Our strategy is a simple 2-pronged attack. First, that spinach needs to be squeezed within an inch of its life. I'm serious. Wrap it in a tea towel and wring out every last possible drop of water. Second, and this is just as important, the entire mushroom filling has to be chilled until it's completely cold.
Let's look at the science here for a second, because it's actually pretty fascinating. Puff pastry gets its puff from all those distinct layers of butter and dough. If you put a warm filling on it, that butter just melts prematurely, the layers collapse, and you get a soggy bottom. But a cold filling keeps those butter layers solid. In the hot oven, that butter creates steam, pushing the layers apart and creating that flaky, crispy perfection. The takeaway is simple. Cold filling is non-negotiable.
All right, with our filling perfected and our anti-soggy bottom defenses in place, it is time for mission 3, assembly. This is where we create that iconic, beautiful Wellington shape.
So let's break this down. Once that filling is perfectly cold, you can stir in some goat's cheese for a little extra creaminess. Now, this next part is crucial. Use plastic wrap to roll the filling into a super tight, uniform log. This isn't just for looks, it's going to ensure an even bake. Then you chill that log again. This makes it firm and so much easier to wrap, and always seal that pastry seam on the bottom.
And now for the really fun part, making it look absolutely incredible. Take the tip of a sharp knife and score a classic diamond pattern across the top. Just be careful not to cut all the way through. And don't throw away those pastry scraps. Use them to make little decorative leaves. It's these little touches that really take it over the top.
We have built it, we have wrapped it, we've made it beautiful. There's only one thing left to do, our 4th and final mission, the bake. This is the moment of truth.
First things first, you need a hot oven. I mean a really hot oven. We're talking 200 degrees Celsius or 390 Fahrenheit. That initial blast of high heat is what shocks the cold butter in the pastry and creates the steam that gives you that incredible flaky rise.
Now, the bake time is going to be somewhere around 30 to 35 minutes, but listen, this is a guideline, not a hard and fast rule. Please don't just set a timer and walk away. Every oven is a little different, so the real signs of perfection are all about what you can see and what you can hear.
So here's exactly what you're looking for. The color needs to be a deep, rich, burnished gold all over. Not pale, not burnt. And for the ultimate pro tip, carefully lift it and give the bottom a gentle tap. If it sounds hollow, that's the sound of a perfectly crisp, cooked-through base. That's your final guarantee of success.
So let's just recap with a few final tips for total Wellington domination. Remember, you can assemble this whole thing a day ahead and just keep it in the fridge, a total game changer for entertaining. Don't forget a killer sauce, a red wine and rosemary gravy is just perfect. And always, always remember the final test. Listen for that beautiful, hollow tap.
And there you have it. You are now officially equipped with all the knowledge you need to create a perfect mushroom Wellington. You know how to build the flavor, how to defeat the soggy bottom, and how to bake it to golden perfection. So the only question left is, when are you going to unleash your masterpiece?